about to go racing for the first time in our new 3-car discipline. Lining up then, it will be a 22-minute encounter, and Danny Henny will line up on pole position. That red car on the right-hand side as we look at it, that empty space next to him, that will be occupied by the pink BWT car of reigning champion Gregoire Gomez. Then it will be Luke Power in the white and yellow number 8 machine, followed by the gold class pole sitter, Sam Harper in the black and yellow car, Bradley Philpott in the stake livery in 5th place, followed by the other red car of Alex Smithy Smith. Stephen Williams in 7th in the West McLaren colours, then Alexander Dobertsberger in his familiar black livery. Daniel Snorterland 2nd in gold in the blue machine, starts 9th, and then Kyle Power in the green Venom Works car completes the top 10. Lucas Raskovitz on his promotion to the platinum class, he starts in 11th. Then Rob de Vries, the silver class pole sitter, in 12th. James Gill, his first platinum appearance as well, having been promoted from silver, in 13th. Jose Coy, also his first race in the platinum class. Daniel Cook in 15th. Tim Ellis all the way down in 16th place. Bit of a disaster.
And Spanners out. Spanners out, Chris. Breaking news. Hi, everyone. I'm Spanners. I'm joining you in the comms booth.
I thought that might be the case, Spanners. I saw your messages. So a shame to lose you. I just finished running through the top 20 there. So we've got Frick Smith in 17th, David Hatton in 18th, Sean Bennett in 19th, and Andrew Sexton completes the top 20 just in time as we've got all 5 lights on. And we're about to get underway for a brand new season of Missed Apex iRacing. Danny Henny getting the back end kicking as he lit up those rear tyres as the lights went out. But a shocker of a start for Gregoire Gomez as he's being swarmed by Luke Power and by Sam Harper, who's had the best start of the lot. He's up into 2nd place already on the inside. And Sam Harper, the gold class leader, will take 2nd place overall from Gregoire Gomez. He's just been able to hang on to 3rd place, but he's got Luke Power still alongside him in that white and yellow machine. He'll have the inside line for turn 2. And they're going to go side by side into the left-hander. Now, Gomez, if he can just hang it out around the outside, he'll have the inside line for this right-hander, but still there is nothing between them. Gomez just now able to pull in front of the nose of Luke Power and hang on to that 3rd place spot. Bradley Philpott right on the gearbox of Luke Power as well, taking a nice wide line through turn 5. He's got Smithy for close company as well. On board with Philpott as we head towards the chicane for the first time. So Philpott maintaining position there in 5th place in the guest entry with the blue background on his number. So it's Henny who leads Harper, Gomez, Luke Power, Bradley Philpott, Smithy in 6th, Dobertsberger 7th, Stephen Williams in 8th, Kyle Powers made that 1 place in 9th, and Daniel Snorterland, that is the top 10 as they make their way through the S's section for the first time. Henny has not got the biggest of margins though over Sam Harper, and I would not put anything against Harper for trying to have a go against Danny Henny here.
Now, Harper's amazingly consistent across all the classes, but he's really taken a step up in the single-seater this last couple of seasons. So he's really a genuine contender on pace here. Interesting to see Philpott really being a bit polite with Smith, but he's clear of that now, and I think we're going to have a top 5. Smith's fast, but maybe not as consistent as those ahead.
They come across the line for the first time. Danny trying to break the toe there down the front straight. Not really anybody following along in the snake. As we've got Gomez. And we get right on board with Gomez, in fact. He's right in the slipstream here of Sam Harper, trying to get back that 2nd place he lost off the line. I'd be interested to hear what went wrong with the start, because we saw Henny have a little hip and shoulder, the back end wiggling away as he got off the line, but Gomez just didn't seem to go anywhere. He was swarmed off the line.
I'll have a look for you. That's what I'm here for.
Good man, Spanners. So we do have a little bit of a top 5 forming here, but it seems like the eyes are on at 2nd place at the moment, and Henny will be hoping to see those 2 cars behind him squabbling, because it means he can try and create a little bit of space. Remember, no more pit stops in this, so it's just all going to be about the position on track. I haven't got to worry about being able to try and get the gap they need and come out in clear air, try and fight their way through traffic. It's just an all-out brawl for 22 minutes, however many laps we can get in that time. And the top 5 are definitely starting to break away. And I think Alexander Dobertsberger making his way past Smithy has had a little helping hand in that. Sam Harper's having to go defensive into turn 12. Side by side for 2nd place now, as Gomez has got the inside line, and Gomez has been able to retake that 2nd place that he lost off the start line, and Harper's got a little bit unstuck here Power thought about a move, but wasn't able to draw an overlap. Can he get the run down the straight? This is what we're going to find out. We're on board with Luke Power now. Henny again weaving across the front straights. He does the fastest lap of the race. Well, Gomez now doing the fastest lap of the race, despite having to put that move on Harper. That's some serious paces. Down the inside now goes Luke Power. Big out-braking maneuver, locking up as well for good measure. Philpott fancies a bit of the action as well, as they're 3 wide on the exit of the first corner.
Dangerous.
And Philpott, he's already got a line on Harper. Harper comes back up the inside into turn 2. Great battle happening here for 3rd place. And again, Philpott tries to take advantage, but he's being very polite out there.
Yeah, a little bit polite, but also he'll have seen now that Harper, in this field is the cork in the bottle. So now let's to get past him. And Harper was just forced out a little bit onto the marbles, wasn't it? I think as soon as you get offline here, you've lost grip. And there's John Cox being lapped already.
Coming into the chicane. This is going to be very tight. We've had contact. And Power's gone straight into the back of Harper's car. And that has taken them both out of it. Gomez has gone through. Philpott's gone through into 3rd place as well. Here it is again. John Cox caught at a very, very bad place indeed. I think Gomez did get a tag from Harper there, but not as hard as the hit he got from Power.
A little bit of impatience there from Gomez. Cox is doing everything he can, and he's gone all the way to the right-hand side to try and do it. But a little bit of a tap, a bit of neck code. He slows up, then Harper goes into the rear and then gets collected by Power.
Well, suddenly we've got everybody fighting for 4th place. So Dobbertsberger now finds himself in 4th place. Luke Power, astonishingly, everything's still pointing in the right direction on that car.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, iRacing might want to take a look at that, but Luke Power continues in 5th. For how much longer? Smithy is now on his tail. I'm sure Power's maybe lacking a bit of straight line speed. I'm sure something will be wonky in that. And Uncle Kyle there is about to get in on the action as well. I'm sure disapproving of Luke's performance on that last lap. But Smithy here looking to the outside of turn 2. No way through there.
It's not a coincidence that Philpott managed to survive that, obviously professional racing driver, and is able to jink and adjust at the last minute, whereas the others ahead of him, unfortunately, just couldn't predict what was going on up ahead.
Yeah, I think Brad's streaming his perspective of this as well, so keep that open in another tab. I mean, keep us on, obviously, in the audio, but maybe just have that open in another tab or on your phone or something as well. As we're on board with Daniel Snorterland, who's got Kyle Power between himself and his gold class rival. That's the gold class leader there, with Smithy in at 6th, Daniel Snorterland there in 8th, and then James Gill very close behind as well in that asymmetrical livery in 9th place.
Northern's really quick. He's a dark horse. He appeared last season, and he's just look at him putting manners here on Kyle Power, showing his nose. He's not scared of anyone on tracks now.
It certainly isn't, and of course James Gill making the step up from silver all the way up to platinum, so skipping the gold stage, 2nd season in a row.
He's so fast. He's so fast, but so raw. He's definitely like our Verstappen that came in at 17 years old and started playing billiards and ping pong everywhere. But yeah, he's super fast. He's got the pace to win this championship, but maybe not the overall, putting a weekend together.
Now Luke Power in 5th place looks very under pressure, as Gomez in 2nd place gone the fastest lap of the race. Lead gap 2.2. But here comes Smithy on the outside into turn 1. This is the battle for 5th place. Smithy in that red and black number 24 machine around the outside here, and has to run off the circuit. Still they are side by side, but this time Smithy will have the line into turn 2. I'm sure Luke Power is somewhat nursing a bit of a damaged car. Awful time to be blinking there, Luke. Oh, and I think that's caused Kyle Power to go for a spin. So Kyle Power there, he's tumbling down the order there. He was right behind him. And look at that. I say it was a bad time for him to be blinking. And, did Kyle just wander into the path where Luke would end up being?
Don't worry, I'm assigning blame. Is that his nephew that he's hit?
Yes, it is. Wow. And we know the Power family are a big fan of watching these streams. They won't have liked seeing that, I'm sure of it.
So we're losing. When you're ready, I can tell you what happened.
Got you. Do it now.
This is really unlucky. So Luke Power has been struggling with internet, was on the out. Plenty of room for Kyle to come up the inside, and unfortunately it looks like he's had an internet blink out, and then he's basically re-emerged, and when he's re-emerged he's been in front of his uncle and taken his uncle out. So no Christmas present this year.
No, definitely off the Christmas card list for that one. So that has reduced this battle to, well, 3 cars now, actually, because James Gill's kind of dropped off the back of these cars in all of that. Smithy getting away a little bit now, having put that move on Luke Power on the previous lap. So we're just coming up to half race distance now as Gomez does another fastest lap of the race, 42.9. That lead gap is coming down. It's down by 0.4 of a second compared to the previous lap, but we'll keep an eye on Luke Power as it looks like he's about to lose another spot here as Daniel Snorterland tries to get around the outside. Not as far alongside him as Smithy was on the previous lap and unable to draw alongside on this occasion. So he has to settle for 7th for now.
Luke Power has a bent front wing, but I'm wondering how that's all he's got, because he's been involved in every incident so far.
Yeah,
that's going to cost him down the straight, but otherwise, these are very drivable with damage.
Yes, the wings on these cars are a bit more show and no-go, aren't they?
Formula E.
Yes, very much so, although I think less by design in this occasion. This is Lucas Raskovitz in 13th position here, former Silver Class champion, and having a go at one of our former overall champions from the Formula Renault Challenge days, David Hatton in the Monster Energy car right in front of him. This is the battle for 12th position. They've got Tim Ellis, another multiple race winner right in front of them as well. So bizarre to see these names that have been right up at the top of the field in the past struggling so much in these F4 cars. Maybe once we get into the F3 machinery, something a bit more familiar, they start to creep towards the front as Hatton goes very wide there on the exit of turn 11. That gives Raskovitz a run, but he's not going to be able to get up the inside into 12. But look at the back end of that car, snaking away. I thought for a second he was going to go defensive into that penultimate corner, but that certainly would spell doom for him, I'm sure. Who's that they've got behind them as well? That's Frick Smith in the purple and white car, the number 30 machine. Just behind them, out for 6th place. Just looking on my other monitor. For 6th place, we've got Snorterland trying to get around the outside again. Here it is. Snorterland around the outside of Luke Power, but again, unable to keep his car alongside as they get to the apex. Luke Power still having to go defensive, struggling with that straight line speed, as you mentioned there, Spanners. And Snorterland going to go right round the outside. No, a little bit too wide there, and Power's able to hang on. Power's really showing us what he's made of here, nursing that damage.
Yeah, and so it's going to be costing him on the straight line, but his car placement is good. You know, Luke Power is week in, week out on that championship circuit, and Daniel Snorderland isn't that. He has got pace, but Luke can definitely make this difficult. But as well, they've got hounding behind them James Gill too. So.
You were talking about his car placement there. I wonder that might have been wandering off across the track a little bit too much there for Luke Power going into the chicane. And as you said, that's brought James Gill right back into the fray here. And Stephen Williams is not far behind them as well in the West McLaren colours in 9th place. Just before these guys get onto the front straight again, and we'll just update you on that lead gap because it has come down to 1.1 seconds now. Gregoire Gomez has been taking time out of Henny, hand over fist, and we've still got around 5 or 6 laps to go. So as they come across the timing line,
4 or 5 laps,
yeah, about 4 or 5 laps. It's so we're now on lap 8. We're expecting it's around 23 minutes, which we're expecting to be about 13 minutes. Once again, the battle for 6th place is heading down the front straight, by the way. And this time, Snorterland has been able to do it on the brakes right round the outside. Cracking move there from Daniel Snorterland to get round the outside. Luke Power has been holding him back for as long as he possibly could, but he couldn't do anything with that. Right round the outside. We're going to get a proper look at it here. Great move in the slipstream. Power's covered the inside. And again, the blinking there. I'm sure that was a little bit disconcerting for Daniel, the Dane. But right around the outside. Beautiful move. And he's now got clean air between himself and his class rival, the gold class leader, Alex Smith, who is 1.5 seconds up the road.
Something to look out for is that the tyres will start to overheat about now. And in the practice races, it was a massive surprise. Just suddenly they disappear out from underuse. And they weren't quite in that zone yet, but in the next lap or two, look out for times changing up and down the timing column. So they might be a bit cautious of that now, because I've noticed that gap is now a solid 1 second, and it has been for a couple of laps, but both Greg and Danny went off in the practice race when they sort of jumped off a bit of a temperature cliff.
Yes, they certainly did. Now, James Gill now having a look up the inside into the anti-penultimate corner. Luke Power, oh, bit of a switch to the inside, bit of a dummy being sold there. Now, Power can't close the door. James Gill's got himself alongside that black and white car, fighting the yellow and white car of Luke Power. And for the first time, they are racing in the same class. So Luke's got to try and get his elbows out here. Stephen Williams is arriving on the scene as well. So once again, Power's defensive. But look at the difference in straight line speed. Oh, a bit of a touch there. A bit of squeezing over on the inside. That's kept Power in play just a little bit, but right round the outside, James Gill. And now Stephen Williams fancies a piece of the cake as well as he's come around the outside. And, wow, this stout defence from Luke Power seems to be coming to a bit of an end here. Still going to try and keep Stephen Williams at bay, but Williams now got the line into turn 3. That is now 8th position for Stephen Williams, and Power, having been fighting for the podium, is now down in 9th place. And I will say this now as well, Greg Gomez has arrived on the back of race leader Danny Henny. It's less than half a second now. Here it is. Now, one thing I noted about these guys in the practice race, we've been set, these guys are the top 2 in F4 at the moment. They are 3.5 seconds clear of Brad Philpott, who's been getting a lot of experience in this car lately, it must be said, as well. He is no slouch. Gregoire Gomez has been so aggressive on the curbs. He's been absolutely monstering them. I think more than I've seen anybody else doing it. Now we can see what Gomez is seeing. As they go through that penultimate corner, there'll be 4 laps to go when we go across the stripe.
This could be it, Chris.
Yeah, it certainly could be. So, right in the slipstream now is Gregoire Gomez. Remember, he had that awful start, starting from the front row of the grid, fell down to 3rd place. He's fought his way back since then. Henny is feeling the pressure, hugging the pit wall right to the inside, and he's going to force Gomez to go the long way round, and Gomez is going for it. Still there side by side on the exit of the corner. Gomez will have the advantage going into the left-hander of turn 2. Can Henny fight this back, or is this it? This is it. This is Gomez into the lead now.
Okay, so you don't lose as much as you might do in the aero wash with other cars, so the slipstream effect is, you know, versus losing that front end is a little bit in your favour here. So Henny's got a chance at coming back. The big thing here is that the setup is quite loose on here, which suits Gomez down to the ground, not so much Danny Henny.
Yeah, he hasn't been particularly happy with the car on corner entry throughout the week, has he? And, well, he certainly made hay while the sun was shining in the early stages of the race in trying to create a gap while Gomez was struggling. I'm sure he felt like he needed to do that, but as it stands, reigning champion Greg Gomez on course for victory in the first race of the night, because he's pulling clear. He's already pulled 0.6 of a second over Danny Henny. Let's see if he's got anything in the pocket.
Sorry, Christopher. Yeah, it's not a surprise, though. Gomez has been like 3 or 4 tenths clear in all the practice sessions. So this is very much his car. So Danny will be hoping to come back in the F3 and the Super Formula. By the way, you owe Mr. Snodland a defence, because Captain Beerbeard is telling us that he is Norwegian. How dare you?
Oh, yes. It's the Norwegian flag on the side of his car. I wasn't looking at it that closely. I thought it was the Danish flag. Well, that'll teach me I need to brush up on my geography, don't I? This is Stephen Williams in 7th position. Oh, who have we lost? We lost somebody from the top 10, haven't we? Because these guys were a position further down. Can't have been Raskovitz.
Oh, we've lost Daniel Snodland. He's gone. He's gone down the grid, so we've missed it. I'll go and find out what happened to him.
Well, that's a shame. Of course, he was setting after the gold class leader, Alex Smith, wasn't he? So,
yeah, running really well. Great pace.
Well, maybe a bit of ambition over adhesion there for Snodland, but that's certainly not an ideal start.
It could have been not his fault at all. Although I am watching it now.
Maybe. That's why I said maybe. Sam Harper here on the recovery after being rear-ended at the chicane earlier in the race. He's in 18th position at the moment. He'd be in a prime position as it stands for the F3 race, the top 20 reverse grid, if he doesn't get his nose chopped off through turn 3, trying to get around Miguel Morland, the silver class driver in the red car on the right-hand side as we're looking at it, but can't get around the outside of turn 4. That'd be a very brave move indeed. In front of them as well is Matt Trumpets.
Looks like a disconnect for Scotland.
Oh, what a shame.
It happens. It happens. As long as I'm not the only one with tech issues, I'm happy. But remember, there's going to be guys fighting down for 20th as well. So 20th will start first, and at the moment it's a newcomer, Joe Jorgensen.
Actually, I have Kyle Power in 20th place, actually. So that would be something. He's a lap down, but it would put him on reverse grid pole for the F3 race. And we know how good Kyle is in the F3.
No, I think Carl's actually down in 30th place, but we'll see how that shakes out. But I think it is Joe Morganson. You might be looking for something else, Chris. Don't worry, I'll be your eyes and ears.
No, I am. My timing tower isn't keeping as well up to date as yours is, obviously. So, yeah, he is in 30th position there.
And looking safe, Joe, as well. Nothing can stop Joe getting that reverse grid pole now. And Sam Harper, sadly, down as well in 18th, but he'll be able to push forward in the F3. There's battles going on with Tim Ellis, Daniel Cook and Lucas Raskowitz, along with David Hatton fighting for 10th place.
Yeah, this is Raskowitz trying to get around the outside of Tim Ellis. Raskowitz in that lime green car. Tim Ellis, the blue and yellow one in front of him. And then David Hatton behind him, the former champion in the Monster Energy car. And, plenty of switching going there. Oh, look at the run. Look at the run out of turn 4. I didn't know you could get a run out of turn 4, but he has found the inside line for turn 5. Very impressive. But Ellis with the momentum, and that's allowed David Hatton to draw alongside him. Surely you can't get around the outside of the chicane. Oh, surely you can't. Oh, you can. Oh, David Hatton, take a bow. Brilliant move there for 11th place.
You can only do that on certain drivers, and Lucas Raskowitz is one of those drivers. You know he's going to race fair and properly, but he's aggressive, is Lucas. So Lukasz. So he is going to come back at David, and it's so great to see David Hatton back in this championship, our first ever champion.
Well, good luck trying that in the Super Formula later, but that was astonishing. I think we got a contender for move of the season already. Didn't expect that to happen in the first race. Right, race leaders are now on the final lap. So Gomez making his way out of turn 1. Danny Henny 1.7 behind him. So definitely Gomez's race to lose at this point. Phil Pott still holding strong in 3rd place in a bit of a race of his own, really. 3.5 seconds behind Henny, 6 seconds clear of Alex Dobbsberger in 4th place. Stephen Williams in 7th place might still have a run at James Gill. They're just making their way into turn 2 now. Here they are. So James Gill there, that black and white asymmetrical car in 6th place, closely followed by the West McLaren coloured Stephen Williams. Got a great run out of turn 3 there as they go up the hill for the final time, but he's not going to be able to draw alongside there.
Stephen Williams is probably one of the best drivers in this series. I just don't know how it never quite strings together for him.
We were talking about this earlier. He's very much the nearly man of this league, isn't he, really? He's been very close. Got really unlucky a couple of seasons ago. Of course, we have the rule that you can't drop the last round. We have one drop score, but it can't be the last round. And Stephen Williams couldn't make the last round on that occasion because he was moving house. Such a shame for him because he didn't have the chance to fight for the championship. Somebody who is going to be fighting for the championship is this man, Gregoire Gomez, the reigning champion, who's kicking off his title defense in absolutely perfect fashion. He's been the benchmark all race long, and Gregoire Gomez takes victory in the Formula 4 race at the Hungaroring. Brilliant start to his season. Danny Henny follows him home closely in 2nd place. 1.5 seconds in the end was the gap as Bradley Philpott joins them on the podium. Alexander Dobbsberger gets over the line in 4th place. The gold class win going the way of Smithy, with James Gill holding off Stephen Williams in the end there for 6th place. Luke Power gets it across the line in 8th despite that damage. Daniel Cook with the silver class win, with Tim Ellis coming home in 10th position. And we've got Danny Henny in the commentary box at the moment. Danny, tell us about that race. It was very close between you and Greg.
Kind of. To be honest, I knew I was in trouble because the lap in qualifying, I don't know where that come from. I just hooked everything up. But my race pace was pretty much what... I mean, I was a little bit off because I was a little bit nervous of obviously what happened to me last night. So I was playing with a lot of caution. But yeah, it was a good little battle. I was quite happy, a top 3 before the race, and second I'm ecstatic with. So I tried to battle Greg a little bit, but the pace he had, I couldn't go with him on that. I was pretty helpless. It was not a nice feeling.
Fair enough. Well, Greg, tell us about that race as well. You had a pretty shocking start, but you recovered very well.
Yeah, so I think Danny and I actually had a little bit of wheel spin. Mine was way worse. So I was suddenly about to be 4th and managed to stay 3rd, I think. Once that kind of once that became quiet, I just tried to get my head down. I was trying to catch Danny, and then there was an incident in the chicane. I'm hoping I did the best I could, because I don't think I'm the one who created the crash, but there was obviously John in front of me. But yeah, that was unfortunate.
I don't think it was me, but it was definitely that other guy. In fairness, Greg, John did everything he could to try and get out of the way. It was horrible timing.
Yeah, I kind of saw it coming, so I had the chance to brake, but the guys behind didn't, I think.
Yeah, there wasn't really much that could be done with it, especially from your side there, Greg. But it was quite a spectacular incident that happened right behind you. So now we're going to go into the F3s now. Of course, old favourite of the F3 Cup. But you've got to do it from 20th. How do you think it's going to
go? I'm hoping for top 10, really, from here. Top 10, top 5 stretch goal, I'd say. Something like that.
Nice.
All right, top man. We'll let you go. And thanks for chatting to us. Good luck for the next race.
I got you the 3rd place man as well here, Chris.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait. I'm afraid we'll maybe catch up with him afterwards, because we've got to. We can take a look at the results. So Steve Rubens there in 20th place. He'll take the reverse grid pole. Joe Borgerson actually ended up gaining a couple of positions, so he'll line up in 3rd position. But just to confirm, Gregor Gomez, our overall race winner. Alex Smithy, our gold class winner. Daniel Cook, our silver class winner, and a few non-starters there, including Stuffy, which is a bit of a shame. And Sean Bennett, I should say, didn't seem to get very far either. But coming up next, it is the F3 race, the first of our top 20 reverse grid races. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.